Australian made and owned, Hi-Tech Oils is one of the largest oil blenders in Australia with a truly national profile, supplying an extensive range of oils, coolant, grease, batteries and much more for all businesses and consumer needs. Choose Hi-Tech Oils for peace of mind.
On today's show, we return to Willowbank Raceway as we continue our final round coverage of this season's 400 Thunder Drag Racing Series. It's the 52nd Gulf Western Oil Winternationals, and this week it's the title fight in Pro Stock between Aaron Tremayne and Chris Soldatos. Then we head over to Europe and to the German capital of Berlin as the drivers and teams of the 2018-19 FIA Formula E Championship take on the Tempelhof Airport circuit for round 10, the Berlin E-Prix. This is Speedweek.
Welcome to Willowbank Raceway at Ipswich in Queensland. We're at the Gulf Western Oil Winternationals. It's the final round of the 400 Thunder Championship and the final round for these guys in Diamond T Custom Toolboxes Pro Stock. We've got a massive field contesting this. They've got to get through qualifying. Only 8 will make it into racing. We've had a championship that's provided plenty of drama right across the season, and it's great to have had races from, well, Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria, Western Australia, all coming together in this Pro Stock category. Have a look at the championship situation. Aaron Tremayne, he has got a stranglehold on the trophy from Chris Soldatos. Tyrone Tremayne, Wayne Daly, Jody Racco, they are fighting it out at the moment for that third spot. It has been a tussle all year. Now, one racer that's done most things in Pro Stock is Wayne Daly, but he hasn't won a Winternationals. He's going to be chasing that one. Another driver, Jason Hedges, has missed most of the season getting a new engine together for the new unleaded regulations.
One racer who was coming back from a little bit of a hiatus is Jason Hedges in Pro Stock. It's his first time in competition since the Winternationals last year, and so the car's got the goods. It's a matter of, is the driver up to it this weekend?
Yeah, we'll find out shortly when I drop the clutch. Yeah, look, no secret. You know, we had a big major engine failure in testing, and it's killed our whole season. But guess what? Danny Selva stepped up, put the thing back together in a month, so we're back, we're ready. We got the unleaded fuel in, so this will be our first test on a live racetrack with the unleaded fuel, but we are so happy to be back. And to be back in this Pro Stock class, because we've missed it. We've missed it big time.
It's kind of breaking new ground with this unleaded fuel, because you're a pioneer out here. You don't know what this thing wants. No one else is running it as yet, but it's something that everyone's going to have to run as of the 1st of July with this new leaded fuel ban.
And that was our whole intention, get ahead of the curve, do it early, rebuild in the off-season. But, as I said, we got let down. But, yeah, everyone's got to be on it, and we're here to test. So anything else from that would be a bonus, but we're here to learn and learn as quick as we can.
Step 1, qualify, obviously. After that, anything a bonus?
This is a banker for us. We just want to make sure we go down, go straight, and then if we get our qualifiers in tomorrow, then we can really ramp up the tune on this unleaded fuel, read the plugs and see what it likes, what it doesn't like.
Well, we're down at the Diamond T Custom Toolboxes tent, and we're here with Wayne Daly. Wayne, you've had a great second half of the season, didn't quite start so good.
No, the first half was something we'd rather forget right now. But testing last weekend and coming out of Sydney with a 692, we turned around straight away and ran 692s again. It shows a lot of promise for this weekend, but there's a lot of fast cars here for this weekend too. So we'll just see how we go in qualifying this afternoon, 3 o'clock.
Yeah, let's look into the field of Pro Stock. You've got some tough competitors, obviously Aaron Tremayne and Soldatos right up there at the top. What time do you think it's going to take to get in the 8?
Oh, I think this will be almost a 6-second field if the weather comes good. Not looking good right now, but low 7.0s I think will be where the bump's going to be.
And of course the last race we're going to have on the leaded fuels. What sort of development are you going to do coming up into the next season into unleaded?
We've done some testing already on the unleaded, and the engine's showing a lot of promise, so I don't think we're going to be too far behind where we are right now. But a little bit of time will tell. Need some testing, on-track testing to prove that, and that'll come up probably in the next 2 or 3 months at some of the smaller meetings. We'll just see how we go.
Well, the weather has played havoc with the Gulf Western Oil Winternationals this year. Those guys were looking forward to a qualifying session Friday. The rain beat them to it. It never happened. Here we are, Saturday. So what should have been Q2 is now Q1. The forecast for this afternoon says we could get more showers. So this could be the only session, or we could get 2 today. We don't know yet. But, well, Jason Hedges coming back with his unleaded combination in his Pontiac GXP. And a guy that was our pit reporter of the opening round of the series. Great to see him back behind the wheel, Mark.
That it is. This round of qualifying right now, as a driver, as a team, you're going to try and probably assume that potentially this is our only shot, so you've got to make it count right now.
Oh, even Friday he was talking about having had the car set up for a banker. Another one, not too hard, just get it in there. And guess what? It ain't going to happen for him, Rusty.
Yeah, guys, down here on the start line with Dave Tucker from Jason Hedges' crew. Mate, not what you guys were after first time up, but I guess you're learning what this car needs now that it's running on unleaded fuel. You're learning what it wants in terms of this track, and you guys were pioneers, first ones out.
Yeah, we're a bit of a guinea pig, but it's very hard to note what the track's going to do, so it's very hard to guess. So we'll find out for the rest of the cars, I guess, and we'll go by that as well.
Hopefully you get a second session, Savo.
Hopefully, yeah.
It looks like the Sunoco replay here, Rob. You could see Hedges as he's launched the car. He got into a little bit of tyre shake here. This rear shot, we'll see it really well. You can see the tyres start to rattle and shake under that car. He has no option but there to button it off. And the other issue with the Pro Stock cars is he can't actually get back on the accelerator because it throws it out of gear into neutral. So that's it. He just has to coast to the track, to the end of the track. And hopefully, fingers crossed for Jason Hedges, we get a qualifying session number 2.
Well, here's John Barbagallo down from Home Hill in North Queensland. First time we've seen him in the 400 Thunder Championship this year. And he has always made a lot of horsepower for the Ford fans. One of the real Ford protagonists in the Diamond T Custom Toolboxes Pro Stock arena. And he is in beside the Pontiac Grand Am of Rick Chilton from Canberra.
Yeah, I know the team of Rick Chilton, they've been looking for a little bit more reliability and a bit more consistency out of their program in this Pro Stocker. They have dipped into the 6-second zone with this car, but it has been a little while since they did that. Sort of lost their way a little bit here, so I'm sure they're hoping to look at running like a 7.0 pass here in qualifying. John Barbagallo, though, over in the other lane, ran 7.0 seconds in testing to the lead up of this event.
We've got 15 cars trying to get into the field. This is oh so important. Barbagallo, 7.002, 307 kilometres an hour. That is a good banker. 7.09 for Rick Chilton. I don't know.
It's going to be tight. 7:09. Let's look at the Sunoco replay here. It wasn't a perfect pass for John Barbagella. Got out to the groove a little bit to the left where he brought it back in the middle. 7:00. That's one of the quickest passes we've seen from him in a few years with the Barbagella team. They'll be over the moon with that run. Rick Chilton, a 7:09. Will it be enough to get him in the field? We'll find out soon.
Well, John Barbagella, it was a great way for him to come back to Willowbank Raceway and come back to 400 Thunder Pro Stock.
Yeah, we've grabbed John Barbagella down here. John, what a fantastic run to kick things off in Pro Stock this weekend.
Oh, look, we're over the moon. We haven't raced for 2 years. Come last weekend to try and get myself and the crew in a bit of a groove again, and to come out and go 7:00, we're over the moon.
Yeah, it's been a couple of years since we've seen you, but we're happy to see you here at Winters.
Thank you. We're glad to be here.
Rob Deckett for the Unique Body Smash Repairs team. Now this is a former Tremayne car, but man, he's got everything he needs. He's up beside Scott Porter, running the Mustang for Porter's Racing. Hey, they'll know which wheelie bar marks are theirs. Have a look at the chalk on those wheels.
Yeah, they actually use the wheelie bars as a tuning device for the vehicle. So a lot of times, sometimes they're a little bit staggered because the natural torque of the car will twist the car to the left or to the right a little bit. So they stagger it to try and straighten the car on the launch. As we see Scott Porter here moving into stage. And Scott Porter's got some fresh horsepower on board this car as well. So they've been running some PB after PB, learning what this new engine wants. It's got a lot more horsepower. So we look to them to step up into that 7-0 region as well, looking for their first 6-second pass.
And of course, Deckett's got Paul Drady, former championship-winning crew chief, on his side. 7:15. I thought it was going to be quicker than that. Only 307. He was off it pretty early. Scott Porter had some problems straight off the line. He's gone nowhere.
Yeah, speaking of crew chiefs, down here on the start line with Paul Drady, crew chief, and Rob Deckett. Mate, we knew that this was going to be a banker, this first session. 7:15, was that what you were looking for?
No, not even close. We knew that we might maybe a one-shot deal, and we just missed it completely on that run there. Should have gone 98, 99, and you can hear it all the way down. May have tapped the limiter a little bit, but seemed to leave okay, and we're just a little bit conservative, so hopefully we get one more shot and get up.
Look, you might squeak in because a few other guys have had some troubles in this first round, so fingers crossed for you guys.
Yeah, we don't want to be banking on someone else having a bad run, so hopefully we get another one and prove our worth.
Well, not the run that they wanted, but Scott Porter, he is really in strife because that car didn't make it under power to the Christmas tree.
Yeah, he had a bit of tyre shake in Scott Porter's lane, so he had to batten it off, but I echo what Paul Drady said as well. They were definitely down on what I expected from that team as well, 7:15. I was expecting like a low 7:0, high 6:99 from the team. Next up, we have got Paul Beecham to the right of screen, taking on Bruce Lee to the left of screen. You see Paul Beecham here moving forward. These guys, they've run a PB of a 7:07 in this car. They're just looking for a bit of consistency. They know they're down a little bit of power compared to some of these other teams, so they're hoping to keep them honest and sneak into this top 8.
Well, Bruce Leake, on the other hand, he is a former Australian champion in this class. Would love to put the Diamond T Custom Toolboxes Pro Stock trophy on his mantelpiece from this weekend. Oh, Beecham out of shape, and looks like Bruce Leake is a bit out of luck as well.
Yeah, both these cars will idle down the track here through the finish line.
That's not going to get them into the field. That's going to be problems, Rusty Gregory.
It is. It's definitely got some teeth down here. And you're talking about what tyre shake is. I'll show you exactly what it looks like when you look at it on the racetrack. You can see the marks out here. They almost look like tractor tyres out here. And the reason for that is because as the tyre's going down the racetrack, it can't slip. The tyre can't get out of its own way. It keeps running over itself. It's like putting your head in a paint mixer. Not a lot of fun.
Have a look on the Sunoco replay, and both those cars vibrating viciously at the rear. That's caused by the tyres running over themselves in this phenomenon in drag racing we call tyre shake.
The crew chiefs will go back to the pits and they'll have a look at the data and then tweak a few things and hopefully come back out and get a clean pass. Matt, though, is with Bruce Leake after that run.
Yeah, I'm down here with Bruce Leake, and it's a bit of a shaky start, but we're rattling everyone on the start line. How grippy is it out there?
Well, pretty good. But you got to have the setup right, you know, the clutch and the shocks and everything right. So we thought we had it pretty good too. We had a bit of help from some of the other competitors this weekend, which was pretty good for the sport, the class to be helping each other. So we got some good hot tips, but we got to get it right.
Brian Purcell for Andergrove Store up in Mackay. This guy has been making some great moves forward with his Pontiac. He's up against Bill Perdicaris.
Yeah, Petikaris is actually the quickest forward in Australia in Pro Stock. Has run a best of a 6.98 second pass. Brian Purcell still searching for his first 6 second pass. The other thing with Petikaris actually though is he actually does all his own R&D on this engine and this car as well. So it's all done in-house with Bill Petikaris. So it's a lot of self-satisfaction when you do have those accomplishments progress onto the track as well, as he has run a 6 second pass in his car to be the quickest forward in Australia. Brian Purcell though beside him. Cars are up on their revs for a long time in stage.
Purcell's going to get across the line first by virtue of the hold shot. Runs a 7.02, 314 kilometres an hour. A 7.09 for Bill Petikaris. Originally, I thought that might have been struggling to make the field, but what we've seen so far, I think a 7 anything is going to be there.
Yeah, you see the Sunoco replay here. You can see they're on the start line for a long time on the revs. Brian Purcell goes through. That's actually a PB in race mode for the Purcell team. That's 7.02. Big speed as well from that car. But Bill Petikaris, he sat there for a long time on the revs. The engines really don't like it when you do that.
Well, his reaction time was 1.3 seconds after the green came on. So, I mean, that really does start to stretch things. But Purcell, great run for him. That's going to put him very handily on the qualifying board at the moment. Here is one of the contenders. We're talking about Chris Soldatos for Tingay Smash Repairs in Victoria. Won the opening round of the championship in somewhat controversial circumstances. He is up against Jody Racco in the Diamond T Custom Toolboxes Monaro from Western Australia. This guy has been the giant killer.
That he has. What I can tell you right now, Rob, though, is we've had 8 Pro Stock cars down the track. We now have a bump spot of 21 seconds. So to get into this field, to be racing around one of the Gulf Western All Winternationals, you need to run quicker than 21 seconds and then hope you don't get bumped out by the cars still left to come.
Yeah, we expected a bump spot down somewhere very close to 7 flat, but the conditions in this first qualifying session that they've got to run has been a little bit tough for the teams. Hopefully the weather's going to hold off and we'll get another session this afternoon, but it is so critical to get into that top 8 right now in case the rain reappears.
Soldatos is second in the championship, and he has got spin and shake. Could be big because Soldatos is idling through. Jody Racco goes 698.
698, 314. Fantastic. Look at the team. They are going up. That's a PB, their first 6, and they have grabbed a solid spot in the Diamond T Custom Toolboxes Pro Stock field, while this guy, championship contender, he is not in the field.
You could see that tyre shake for Chris Soldatos, and once he backs off, there's nothing he can do. He can't get the car down the track. That could be very, very telling right now.
Well, that could be the championship run and done for Soldatos. It'll all depend whether he gets a second chance to get into this field. But this Diamond T team, look at the celebrations. Michael Barrett, he's punching the air.
First 6 second pass of the weekend. First six second pass for Jody Racco. Michael Marriott, crew chief, mate, congratulations. That's a fantastic run.
Listen, this is a credit to those guys. They work so hard, and I'm really fortunate to be able to come here and give them a bit of a hand just because our slammer's not here today. Full on, amazing effort. Well done, Jody, as a driver. Well done to the crew. They built the engine back in Waroona in Australia, in Western Australia, and to transport it. Wayne Daly, Diamond T, for backing the boys and helping them out. Awesome deal. Pleasure to be a part of.
Awesome, man. I'll tell you what, if you want a good interview, Jody Racco is going to be a cracker of an interview after that one.
Mate, Jody Racco is getting out of the car. Jody, it's great to give you this news. That's your first 6 second pass, a 98.
98, yeah. Listen, it's fantastic. We've been working really hard. Crew's done a fantastic job. Diamond T on board, all my sponsors, STR Engineering, Motorsport Database, all the guys that give me a hand. It's, it's a dream come true, really.
But you're number 1 at the moment.
Oh, number 1. All right. There's a few hitters to come, mate, so we'll wait and see. But listen, that's awesome news. Really awesome news.
Well, I'd love to see you smile, and good luck this weekend.
Thanks very much. Good on you.
Well, Jody Racco, I called him the giant killer earlier. He is number 1 at the moment. As he said, there's some very fast cars still to come, including this guy. And we are talking, well, both of these guys. We're talking about the Cavallo-Tremayne confrontation.
Yes, this is a big, big race again here in qualifying. Paul Beecham is now on the bump spot. Tyrone Tremayne coming forward. If they want to get that number one spot in qualifying, 6.98 seconds, that is the time to beat from Jody Racco.
So, we've seen big hitters go out. What's going to happen here? Will we see more 6 seconds? They look quick, Mark.
This is good. This is good. Tyrone Tremayne goes 6.988 seconds, identical to the thousandths of a second of Jody Racco, but he slots into number 2.
Yeah, guys, down with Kerry Tremayne just quickly, mate. 6.98, that puts you right up the pointy end.
Yeah, mate, it's really good. Bit untidy, but no, we're happy with that.
More to improve on.
Yeah, very good.
Well, Cavallo looked to be running right with him into the sixes, and then it really did fade over the last sort of, 50, 80 metres, and it was reflected in the speed, that's for sure.
Yeah, only a 7.13 from Nino Cavallo. He would have been hoping for a lot quicker time than that. We know he can run into the sixes in that car. We've seen it this season, but definitely not what they were hoping for here in qualifying session number 1. Will it be enough to keep them in the field? We've got more cars coming forward, and that includes this man, Aaron Tremayne, the defending 400 Thunder champion in the Pro Stock class, leading the championship right now to take on Wayne Daly. Daly has been a bit of a revelation in the second half of the season. Ran a great 6.92 in the testing and lead up to this event. He is the quickest Pro Stocker here this weekend from testing so far. It'll be interesting to see what happens here in the session.
Well, of course, Aaron Tremayne, not only defending champion, but series leader, and he has seen his challenger, Soldatos, not get down the racetrack. What Aaron has to do here is qualify. Qualifying alone in this session might be enough to confirm the Tremayniac Racing Mega Bulk Fuels team yet another championship. But Wayne Daly for Diamond T Custom Toolboxes, the Winternationals is the event he wants to tick off. Daly has shut it off. He's not going to go there. What have we got from Tremayne? 6.98 with a 5. 317 kilometres an hour. So tough at the top.
Yeah, down here with Brett Riley from Wayne Daly's crew. Mate, you guys look like you got a little bit further than most of the cars that shook the tyres. Just got out there to about 100 feet.
Look, it's a very surprisingly good track right now. We thought that we would have been on the safe side, but maybe we just missed it almost at 60 foot. So we'll go back, we'll make a minor change, and we'll get back into this.
Too easy, mate.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, Pro Stock qualifying session number 1, Aaron Tremayne. You've gone the lowest ET so far, just that 98.
Oh yeah, for the Mega Bulk Fuels, not too bad for a first run. Track's a bit loose out there in the middle, so hopefully it tightens up a bit and we can throw a bit more at it the next run and go low 90s.
Well, you're 1, your brother's 3rd, so good luck with the Tremayne camp this weekend.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Have a look at this for Wayne Daly. Testing went so well for him 6 days ago, but they just missed it by that little bit, Mark.
Yeah, I heard Aaron Tremayne actually say it was a little bit loose mid-track, so I wonder if that's what affected Wayne Daly, because he did get out strong and then made a move there just about 100 metres out. And in the end, with the Pro Stock car, you just got to back off and come out and hopefully get to qualifying session number 2.
Which, of course, there's the bad news. Rain is falling at Willowbank Raceway. Saturday afternoon action has been cancelled. So the field will be set, and Chris Soldatos is not in it. He was contending for the championship.
Yeah, we're getting down here in the pits and we found Chris Soldatos in the Pro Stock. Chris, probably not the weekend you wanted to start with. You were second in the championship, but you didn't get the car down in Q1.
No, we didn't get down there. Look, it just shook the tyres pretty bad. I had to clutch it and it was all over. And the way the things are now, I don't even know if we're going to qualify because of the rain. I think this rain set in and that's going to be it. It's going to be all over for us, I reckon.
Let's talk through some of the season. Your car has been really fast this season. Definitely the number 1 contender at some point. Especially at the start of the season, you made some good points.
We've got a pretty fast car, we've got good power, we've got a pretty good deal actually. I mean, the only thing that's letting that car down is probably a little bit, which would be me, but look, it's a fast car. It's going to keep up there with them without a problem, but anyhow, everyone's turned against us, so I don't know what to say.
Well, unfortunately for Chris Soldatos, it is over for qualifying. Number 1, Aaron Tremayne, 6.98 with a 5. Number 2, Jody Racco, 6.98.8. Tyrone Tremayne, 6.98.8. Then we run down Barbagallo, Purcello, Rick Chilton, Bill Perdicaris, Nina Cavallo with a 7.13. We would have never expected a 7.13 to make it into Pro Stock, but you've got to be in it to win it. Stay with us on 400 Thunder Drag Racing, because after the break, we're going to find out exactly who gets there in Diamond T Custom Toolboxes Pro Stock. Welcome back to the Gulf Western Oil Winternationals at Willowbank Raceway at Ipswich in Queensland. The rain is gone, it's race day, the sun is out, the conditions are near perfect for drag racing. We are in Diamond T Custom Toolboxes Pro Stock. And this man, Aaron Tremayne, has just wrapped up another 400 Thunder Championship by virtue of the fact that his challenger, Chris Soldatos, did not make it into the top 8, didn't qualify. So that means that Aaron Tremayne now has an unbeatable lead. Not only that, let's have a look at the leaderboard. Aaron Tremayne was actually scheduled to run against Bill Perdicaris, but unfortunately he's done some engine damage. That's good news for Robert Deckett. He's promoted from number 9 up to number 8 and will get in the field. We get a North Queensland battle with John Barbagallo to face Brian Purcell. Jody Racco from Western Australia against the Victorian Nino Cavallo, Tyrone Tremayne and Rick Chilton.
Looking at our first pairing now here, Brian Purcell to take on John Barbagallo. It is the battle of the North Queenslanders here in round 1 of racing. You can see the Andergrove store from Mackay, Brian Purcell backing up. John Barbagallo does his own research and development on this car as well, makes all his own horsepower, more affectionately known as Rooster Power, on board for that car.
Yeah, and I mean, these two were only separated by a couple of hundredths of a second in qualifying yesterday. Brian Purcell ran his personal best, and I think Barbagallo was very close to his as well.
Yeah, he was very close. One of the quickest passes we've seen from Barbagallo in a few years from that car. He had lane choice here moving forward, ran 7.00 in qualifying. Purcell went 7.02, absolutely nothing in it. This will really come down to the drivers, so it's back on the drivers now as long as they've got the tune-ups right. Hit a reaction time, hit your shift points, and hopefully, fingers crossed, that you get the win light at the other end.
Oh, there's the JB Automotive crew just guiding John Barbagallo forward into the pre-stage beams, lets him know that his front wheels are then around about 30 centimetres short of the start line itself.
Yeah, visibility is very limited to the car, so that's why the crew guys usually get out and guide them into stage.
Fantastic to see a big crowd in here at Willowbank Raceway for this race day, the final of all of our 400 Thunder Pro categories.
Oh, they are neck and neck. I can't pick it.
Have a look at it. Win light 7.005 for Brian Purcell. Barbagallo had the whole shot, but his 7.03 just not quite enough.
Listen to this, Rob. 0.001 of a second win margin to Brian Purcell.
A thousandth of a second, the win margin. Both cars straight down the middle of the lane. What a fantastic race to open up Diamond T Custom Toolboxes Pro Stock, and Brian Purcell gets it by the skinniest margin.
I'm down here with Brian Purcell, and you have great luck here at Willowbank. You have won by 1,000th of a second.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty close. I could see John out the side of the window that, man, this is going to be touch and go. And I didn't know when we turned around the braking area here, and then what gave it away was the TV camera. I thought, yeah, we've got it. So, really good.
Well, good luck in round 2.
Yeah, thanks. And Intergrove Store McCoy, we'll go another go.
Back up to you guys in the commentary box.
It is so good when the drivers can't pick the win.
Oh, you couldn't pick it. That was crazy. Probably my race of the season for Pro Stock there in the opening run. Now we move into our second pairing. We're on board with Tyrone Tremayne from Mega Fuels there, and Bailey's Brake and Clutch in Ipswich, backing up from his burnout. See him just steering the car with the way his crew member guides him back there. She'll tell him which way to get it back into the tracks.
It's all about trying to get that maximised traction by putting your tyres in the own hot sticky tyre tracks, isn't it?
It is about maximising traction here on the start line when these cars launch. And every little thing counts, everything is measured in millimetres and thousandths of a second. Everything is inch perfect on these cars. You can see the two crew guys there, the doors open. That's usually just to get the smoke out of the cockpit of the car, just to make sure he's got best visibility going down the track.
Well, coming forward now is Rick Chilton in the Grand Am from Canberra for Donrick Motorsports. He will be delighted to be out here taking part in race day. He knows he's up against a tough customer in Aaron Tremayne.
That he is. You can see the crew guy actually tell Tyrone how far away he was from the pre-stage light as well. Both these cars now into pre-stage.
All up to the drivers. It's about getting up on the revs, pumping up the line lock, getting yourself into stage, cutting a light, then looking for a win light. Another close race, 7-1-1, 7-0-8 for Chilton. Whole shot win to Aaron Tremayne. He was quicker on the reaction time, and another squeaker, Mark.
Well, okay, we saw .001 in the first pairing. This one was .027 across the finish line, their win margin for Aaron Tremayne. And it was a whole shot win as well. He did his job as a driver, but the tune-up was a little bit off, I think, for the team.
Rick Chilton's got to feel a bit unlucky there. He was just a touch late on the late off the lights, and by what was it, 27 thousandths
of a second. What about 1 thousandths, 27 thousandths here in the first two pairings? Well, Pro Stock is putting on a show. The Sunoco replay here. You could see it. Tremayne got out with that whole shot, and Chilton was coming back at him. The track was another 5 metres longer. He gets the win, but Aaron Tremayne winner.
Aaron Tremayne, it was a bit of a rough ride down. Probably not the time you want to see, but you got a whole shot win.
Oh, mate, I don't know, it rattled a bit there, and I drove it into the limiter in one gear, which is something I never do. It's not a good thing, but hopefully we can get it back out next round and drive a bit better, eh?
Yeah, well, good luck, and thanks to all the sponsors.
Yeah, thanks Mega Fuel, mate. Couldn't do it without them, so let's get this thing into another round, eh?
See you in round two. Back up to you guys in the commentary.
Well, the driver can take credit for the whole shot, then the driver can slap his own wrist for actually over-revving it and hitting the rev limiter. That would have cost him a few of those thousandths.
Oh, it would have been. You can't lie about that stuff as well. They've got data loggers on board, so they go back and go, hey, mate, you missed the shift point there a little bit. We can see it here on the computer. Next pairing out here in Pro Stock, we have got Jody Racco taking on Nino Cavello, number 2 and 7 in qualifying, but don't let that mistake you. This is a real tough race. Probably my race of the round between Racco and Cavello. Cavello just missed the tune-up slightly in that qualifying session. Racco running a PB, a 6.98. Has Lane Joyce taken that far side of the track here? We see Cavello's team there with a temperature gun, just taking a recording of how hot the track temp is. That's one of the big things when it comes to tuning these cars. The crew chiefs will look at the temperatures and all that, and the amount of stick and so forth that the track has. And that comes all into account when they actually make that final decision of how they're going to set up the cars here in racing.
Well, Nino Cavello's got the Chrysler-powered Dodge. Now, the Chrysler engines have got the most horsepower in Pro Stock at the moment. There's no question about that. But it's not always just about horsepower. The other thing you can say is that Jody Racco has had this ability to actually, drive his way to wins and overcome a horsepower deficit at times. And he is absolutely in form. So instead of the underdog this time, I've got my money on Jody Racco, I reckon, in the Diamond T Custom Toolboxes car.
We'll know in about 7 seconds, Rob.
Oh no, how do you pick a winner again?
It was a whole shot to Racco.
Oh, what was it? 7.06 beats a 6.96. A big whole shot win to Jody Racco. His driving has done it again.
We've got a brake lock up for Cavello in the braking area, but Pro Stock is putting on a show. Listen to this, Rob. Listen to this. 0.002 of a second win margin to Jody Racco.
Oh, man. Oh, man. That was so tight. Now, Cavello was going deep with the brake lock up. He has been able to pull it up. We just saw him go shooting past there.
Have you seen a round of racing this tight before ever?
Yes. Pro Stock, in its day, this is what Pro Stock is about. Diamond T Custom Toolboxes category, absolutely putting it on. What, we've got 3 races and the average win margin is now less than 10 thousandths of a second.
absolutely incredible there. Well, we pro stock. Let's have a look at Cavello's car. You can see the lockup has actually blown that front tyre out as well.
Man, that is a bit of a break when you get a whole shot lose and do a tyre. But, well, Rusty, Pro Stock's turning it on.
0.02 of a second, and it wasn't even the closest run of the round. That's insane. Michael Marriott, that's the win. Your driver got one for you there, made over 1/10 of a second whole shot.
Oh, the driver did an awesome job. Cavallos are a fantastic team. Adam does an amazing job, and you can see they did their job better than we did ours, and our driver did an awesome job.
On to the semi-finals now. What's the plan?
Well, we've got to do something with that shake. It just shook there. The track's obviously extremely good. It's got more traction, in my opinion, than it did yesterday, so we've got to address that.
Good luck for the second round, mate.
Thank you very much. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, Jody Racco's just getting out of the car now. You got yourself a win, 0.02 of a second. Oh, wow. Did you even know as you were going across the line?
Actually, I thought he got me because he was catching pretty quick, so that thing's got some real mumbo. But looks like we got him on the tree, mate, so whole stock win is always great. Yeah, I'm pretty happy. Winternationals, and like we keep on saying, mate, long way to come. So, no, it's awesome.
Well, you're having a fantastic weekend, and we can't wait to see you in round 2.
Good on you, mate. Thank you. Thanks.
Man, this category, yesterday, a lot of these guys couldn't hit the side of a barn with a dart, but they have been on the money here. And when you have 3 races, and as I said, the average winning margin across those 3 races is now less than a 0.10 of a second.
It's incredible. Aaron Tremayne, our 400th under Pro Stock champion here, our number 1 qualifier today, backing up from his burnout. He will be taking on Rob Deckett. Now, Deckett, we'll talk about Deckett. He wasn't in the field. Bill Petakaris qualified into the top 8, had some issues. Deckett has gotten lucky. He's got into the field number 8 now as the first reserve.
If I was Tremayne, I'd be nervous because you know that this car has a lot more than it showed yesterday.
Exactly, and that's what I was just about to talk about. Is Rob Deckett at his first ever event in Pro Stock ran a 7.01. They're knocking on the door of a 6-second pass. Their half-track incrementals are absolutely stout. They've got the car set up really well, but they are down on a little bit of horsepower, they've told me. So they know that, but their suspension setup, their clutch setup, all that sort of things is A+ for the team at the moment.
A little bit of concern there from one of Aaron's crew guys. Kyle Hoff just jumped close to the car momentarily. There's not going to be a lot in it, but it will be Aaron Tremayne. The champ does it with a 6.99, 317 kilometres an hour. I think it's first race, so it wasn't a whole shot. 7.0 for Deckett, but a good, strong win for Aaron Tremayne in the mega car.
Yeah, Aaron Tremayne actually went into full stage before Deckett was actually in pre-stage, so he double bowled Deckett. Now, I'm not sure if he meant to do that. Looking at the Sunoco replay, you see Tremayne's already in full stage. Deckett jumped in real fast, barely any time to get the revs up there on the thing. But it was all Aaron Tremayne in the Megabox Fuels Pro Stock car as it goes across the finish line for a win. He is our new champion in the Pro Stock Series.
Mate, I've got this huge gold Christmas tree. Pro Stock champion for 2018-19 season, Aaron Tremayne. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, mate. You know, for Mega Fuels, what can I say? You know, Alkaline Pools, Next Gen Engineering, Tremayniac Racing, Speedflow, Six Boost, everyone that helps us out, mate, it's just fantastic. My team, my crew, you know, couldn't do it without them. The engine shop back home, you know, got a few engines in these cars out here and we're running hard, so you know, can't wait for the next round.
Yeah, well, it's coming up next year. We're moving to unleaded fuel as well, so it's another championship again.
Yeah, exactly. So you know, it's just going to be, we're going to come out here and test in a couple of weeks and see where we end up with the unleaded stuff, and hopefully can come back and do it all again, I guess.
We're going to let you get back to the pits and celebrate.
Thank you very much.
Well, congratulations to Aaron Tremayne and the team. Another championship, but now his focus changes. He wants this Gulf Western Oil Winternationals win. Aaron Tremayne will be taking on Brian Purcell. Jody Racco against Tyrone Tremayne. Man, that is going to be a big semi-final in Diamond T Custom Toolboxes Pro Stock. Make sure you join us after the break for all of the action from Willowbank Raceway. Welcome back to Willowbank Raceway at Ipswich in Queensland. And of course, we're at the Gulf Western Oil Winternationals, the big grand finale of the 400 Thunder Pro Series. And there's nothing more pro than Diamond T Custom Toolbox's Pro Stock. It is semi-final time. We've got two Tremayne cars in that semi. Will the brothers go head-to-head in the final? Mark, it's possible.
It is definitely possible. We're on board here with Jody Racco. I can tell you right now, when it comes to these pro classes, they have about 90 minutes in between rounds of racing. Racco had to swap an engine out after that first round of racing, and that's a lot of work for the driver and team.
Absolutely. Now, Mark, I know you just said that Jody Racco had to change an engine. The reason for that was a valve actually got stuck within the guide, in the valve guide. So it was a little bit sticky in there. So they said, you know what, rather than try and fix it in the car or even change it out, they thought, just change the engine. This one is just as good as the other one that was in there already. So don't be surprised to see something with a 6-second pass come up on the boards.
Well, you'd have to think that all of these cars will run sixes. The air's cool, the track is tight. This is the last event for Pro Stock on this leaded fuel. It will cost them some horsepower when they change to the unleaded, and they will progressively, of course, spend time in the dyno and make up that gap. But in the meantime, this is the chance for your 6-second hurrah, isn't it?
It really is. Jody Racco now going through that burnout procedure. The one thing with changing an engine, they all have their own personalities and they all have different wants and needs when it comes to the actual race track. So it is a bit of an unknown for Jody Racco with this engine on this racetrack for this very weekend. They have used it in the past, but obviously every single day is a new day with these sort of tracks, and things change, and it's just little nuances between what you've done in the past, what's happening right now.
So Jody Racco won't be worrying about that. What he'll be trying to do is strap a big hole shot on Aaron Tremayne and hang on, because he knows from a horsepower point of view he's probably at a slight deficit, but it hasn't worried him all season. He's been the giant killer.
He has, and Racco had lane choice in this round of racing, because we know in that first round Aaron Tremayne was off a little bit, went a 7-1-1 and got the win on a hole shot over Rick Chilton.
So Pro Stock was close every single race in round one. What are we going to see in the semi-finals? Will it be two Tremaynes into the final? One? None. They're all possibilities.
Oh, look at that. Identical reaction times, both sides of the racetrack.
Nothing in it. Give the win 700 to a 7:03, 1 kilometre an hour faster. Aaron Tremayne's going to the final in Diamond T Custom Toolboxes Pro Stock.
There wasn't much wrong with those passes here. They were identical on the reaction times. Then it was all down to tune-up and driver for the rest of the track. Tremayne hit his shift points. They had the power, 700. He goes through to the final, where he may face against his brother or Brian Purcell.
Right along with Jody Racco as he shifts through 5 gears. Look out the window. There's the bonnet scoop of Aaron Tremayne. Half a car length in it, I reckon. And Racco gave it everything he had.
Our next pairing here in the semi-finals, it will be Aaron Tremayne to take on Brian Purcell. We are on board with Aaron Tremayne here at the end of the burnout. Door opens up. You can see that smoke inside the cabin there of the car. He will back up. Crew member comes out in front, start guiding him back on those tight, sticky track.
And Brian Purcell into a Pro Stock final for Andergrove Store in Mackay. He is going to be delighted to be here, running personal bests as well. This is going to be tight. It is certainly no lay-down misère for the repeat champ in the form of Aaron Tremayne in the Mega Bulk Fuels car. These guys, they have been the dominant team, but man, this is going to be tight.
I can tell you right now, I spoke to Brian Purcell. They are swinging for it. They are getting aggressive here. They know they've got Aaron Tremayne. They're like, you know what? We're going for it. We're going to try and run our first 6 here. We're going to throw everything we have at it and just hope, fingers crossed, that it sticks to this surface here at Willowbank Raceway.
So they change the launch RPM. They can change the clutch, make it a little bit tighter, make it lock up earlier, and it's all about getting horsepower to the ground.
It hasn't worked for Purcell, but it doesn't matter because it's a red light for Aaron Tremayne. Purcell will go through to the final.
Aaron Tremayne red lights by just 22 thousandths of a second, so it's going to be Tyrone to carry the flag.
Yeah, Tyrone Traynor's a very happy man down here. You are going through to the finals, and you've just found out your brother is not going to be alongside you. It's going to be Brian Purcell.
Oh, mate, that's a bit unfortunate, but at least one of these mega cars is out here and going into the final, and we'll see if we can bring home the win, eh?
Oh, we definitely want to see you bring home the win, because maybe, just maybe, you might be able to grab that second position in the championship.
Yeah, mate, whatever we can do, it'll be just good fun anyway.
Have a look at this. Red light by 22 thousandths of a second as, well, the Andergrove store car just didn't make it to the counter.
I can't even remember the last time Aaron Tremayne red lit.
I can't remember him red lighting at all.
Exactly. Let's have a look on board here, Aaron. He launched, he hit it hard as well, but it's all Brian Purcell, his 28-second pass, getting him through to the final.
Yeah, we got Brian Purcell alongside me. Aaron Tremayne got a red light, but you're going through to the final alongside Tyrone.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. The boys were on the radio, actually, because I missed the setup on the start line, obviously, and it just shook real bad, so just gave up thinking, it's done and dusted, and then they went, just keep rolling, because you've got it won. They'll look up at the board, and couldn't believe it.
Well, you can guarantee that that team's going to make a few little tweaks to take it up to Tyrone Tremayne in the final. Great performance by Brian Purcell and the team, as likewise the whole Mega Bulk Fuels team to put that car of Tyrone Tremayne's up there. Heading towards the final of Diamond T Custom Toolboxes Pro Stock. The sun has set. It's early evening. It's not the final we could have predicted, I guess, because Pro Stock has been such a wild card with the weather conditions here across the 4 days of the Gulf Western Oil Winternationals. But it is going to be these guys, Tyrone Tremayne and Brian Purcell, an all-Queensland final in Pro Stock.
Well, Rob, let's have a look at how these guys made it through to the final here of the Pro Stock Eliminator.
Tyrone Tremayne in round one. Coming forward with his Camaro.
It was
Rick Chilton in beside him. Chilton looking for a PB here.
It was a crazy tight race here with Tyrone Tremayne and Rick Chilton. Only 2 thousandths of a second separated them across the finish line. It was a whole shot win for Tyrone Tremayne. Wasn't his best drive, you could say, that we've ever seen from Tyrone Tremayne. Semi-final time, though, he was up against Jody Racco.
Now, Racco certainly was ready to take it to him. Another squeaker of a race.
And after identical reaction times for both drivers, it was a 7.00 coming out on top over Racco, 7.03 for the win, and enough to put him in the final.
Now let's have a look at the other side of the ladder as Brian Purcell took on fellow North Queenslander John Barbagallo. This first round just kept producing.
Yeah, what does 1/1000th of a second win margin look like? It's that.
1/1000th was the margin, and that sent Brian Purcell into the semi-final. This is where he had a little bit of luck.
Yeah, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. When you're facing the champion, that is Aaron Tremayne, Purcell, he threw everything at it. It was too much. So he knows where a limit can be. He can't have that much power in the final. He's going to have to take it back.
But a red light from Aaron Tremayne means that the Mackay-based team keep trucking on, and they are here, ready, able, and burning out for the final of Diamond T Custom Toolboxes Pro Stock. Tyrone Tremayne for Mega Bulk Fuels, Tremaniac Racing, Next Gen Engineering. Oh, and Rolinia's had traction problems. She's come down pretty hard getting out there to guide Tyrone back. Oh, she's going to have a tale to tell about her tail after this one.
Yeah, she's all right. She's backing him up here. And we see Tyrone Tremayne, Brian Purcell. Now, we know Purcell will have to soften his tune-up from what he had in the semi-finals. Take it back a little bit and hope it's enough to get past Tyrone Tremayne. The thing here with this final, it is now nighttime. All the testing, all the qualifying, all the racing into the lead-up of this event, it's been done in the daytime. when you get to night here in winter, it is a lot colder. The track temp starts to drop. You start to get a little bit dew, a little bit foggy. You can see inside the cabin here of Brian Purcell. So they've got a couple factors to bring in with their setup right now in the final.
Well, I'd love to see Brian Purcell win his first one, but I've got to tell you that Tyrone's been the bridesmaid so many times this season. Whoever gets there is going to have earned it. Look at this. I think it's Purcell. Purcell. He's done it. 6.98 with a 6 beats a 6.98 with a 5. The racing has been absolutely stunning in Diamond T Custom Toolboxes Pro Stock, and the finals delivered as well.
Oh, Brian Purcell, he adds to the trophy mantle. He has already had one win in Pro Stock previously a couple of years ago. This is his second ever win here in the final. The biggest race that you can win here in Australia, the Gulf Western Oil Winternationals, the Sunoco replay. He had the whole shot. It was a whole shot win. He did his job as a driver. He hit the tune-up. Their first ever 6-second pass. Absolutely everything perfect for Brian Purcell here in the final.
You have a look at the Mega Bulk Fuels car. It got a little bit out of the centre of the lane, and I think that's cost him the 100th or so that he needed. And Purcell claims a very justifiable and well-earned win. Diamond T Custom Toolboxes at the Gulf Western Oil Winternationals.
Mate, we're down here with very happy Brian Purcell. Got your first Winternationals win.
Yeah, over the moon. I've been doing this since I can't remember, and I've always wanted to win the Winternationals. And finally, yes, and a pretty good race, I'd say, by the sounds of it, between Tyron and myself. So, great way to finish the day.
Yeah, mate, it's still good to get this car into the final and, buddy, get runner-ups better than nothing. But I know it must have been a bit late on the tree. That's not like me. But anyhow, thanks to Mega Fuels and everything they've done, we'll come back next year harder and again.
What a great season of 400 Thunder Pro Stock. Aaron Tremayne claims another championship for the Mega Bulk Fuel team. Aaron Tremayne got so close, but Chris Soldatos just hangs on. The Diamond T Custom Toolbox teammates, Jody Racco comes out on top of Wayne Daly in that battle, and Brian Purcell's win moves him all the way up to number 6. Well, we've got another fantastic season coming up with 400 Thunder professional drag racing. It all kicks off at Sydney Dragway with the Atlantic Oil East Coast Thunder on the 1st and 2nd of November. We're going to run up and down the coast, and of course it finishes at the Gulf Western Oil Winternationals in June right here at Willowbank Raceway. But we're not finished with the 2019 version of the Winternationals yet. Next time we're going to have all of the two-wheeled action of Performance Wholesale Top Bike and Serco Pro Stock motorcycles.
There's more to come after the break as we head to the Tempelhof Airport circuit in Berlin for round 10 of the FIA Formula E Championship, the Berlin E-Prix.